Hello, what's going on? Wilson here, back with another OZARK episode review. This time I'm gonna be going over Season 3, Episode 4, titled Boss Fight. So this is basically just like a thought process and review of what happened within the episode, all based on my perspective, so maybe everyone has like a different perspective on what happened in the episode, but this is solely based on just like my own opinion, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna jump character by character to explain what happened to each character and all that. So starting with Marty Bird, we know that he was kidnapped by Navarro, and this time Helen wasn't involved apparently. So Marty, he was eavesdropping on Wendy's phone calls with Navarro, and that's how Navarro knew that it was Marty who was doing that. So that's why he brought him in. And he kept Marty within like a dungeon for a few days or something, while everyone who like didn't know that Marty was kidnapped assumed that he was in Kansas City for like work-related stuff or something. But yeah, moving on to like Marty's like role in this episode. So Navarro basically wanted to know what Marty wanted. That was like the whole gist of the episode. Like, Marty, what do you want? This also included like a backstory of Marty as a child, what he went through with his family, like how his father was in the hospital for quite a while and he ended up passing away, which is pretty sad. It seemed like his family is probably a little bit poor, considering that his mom didn't have enough money for like even arcade games, like to let Marty play arcade games in the hospital. But we do learn that Marty basically had a thing for arcade games based on this episode. What I mean by that is like, this is probably relative to the title Boss Fight, where you're playing like an arcade game and you're just trying to beat it. And this also ties with Marty going up against Navarro, who is his boss from how I see things. And yeah, there's just a lot of drama going on. So Navarro basically questions Marty, asking him like, why, like, does he not trust Navarro or like just Wendy? Do you not trust your own wife? And what it ends up being said is that Navarro thinks that Marty fears Wendy because he doesn't understand her. Like, she's become such a powerful woman. She knows exactly what she wants and everything. And basically, Navarro said that Wendy wants it all. And I guess Marty ended up confessing that he's freaking scared of Navarro, scared of Wendy, especially with the plan of going legitimate, like having their business go legitimate. And he also like started cussing out Navarro, saying like he hopes he loses the war and gets like his head chopped off or something. And by that time, like near the end, Navarro starts to like finally get something out of it. He's just like, finally Marty, you're making progress after being in the dungeon for quite a few days. And then at one point in the show, there's like a red flag with like one of the bank accounts, because I guess Ruth and the other characters were trying to launder money without Marty. And it was kind of like set up by Navarro as a test to see if they're capable of doing things without Marty. But in the end, a red flag was raised, which means that the FBI like froze an account, like a bank account. I think it's the FBI, but they're kind of suspicious. And Marty basically, well, Navarro had Marty resolve the issue, and Marty kind of related to like fixing the like money laundering issue with the bank account, like by tying it to his past with his, I wouldn't say obsession, but his influence of the arcade games. So he basically connected the bank issue with an arcade game and how you had to beat the system and like find ways to crack it. And in the end, he did it. He really did it. And I also thought it was kind of special how Marty had a belief that to beat the arcade game, you just gotta keep putting in money. You gotta keep going and going. Like, money has like a huge influence. I don't know exactly why that would tie to his current lifestyle, but it is something that I like noted. And then in the end of his flashback, it shows that his dad passed away. And what that meant to me is that you could beat the game, but in the end, Marty lost in life. because his father passed away, so that was very sad. So it takes a lot to win, but then in some ways you lose in that retrospect. Marty also wanted to launder money on his own terms, where it's safe, and Marty has a plan of trying to compromise an FBI agent, probably Maya Miller. That's what I assume, but who knows, it could probably end up being Trevor Evans as well, but then that dude has like a vendetta against Marty, so we don't know. And he wanted like just a thank you from Navarro, but Navarro won't even give him that, so that's his own business. But Marty did end up getting home safe, so that's good for him. Team Bird. Now moving on to Wendy. She told Ben everything, like how they're in the drug business, and of course Ben like flipped out. And I guess the kids are more like mature now that they know like everything that's going on. But Wendy's still trying to keep things away from them because they don't want them to worry, even though that is causing them to worry even more because they care a lot about their parents. In the end, Helen figured out that she found out that Charlotte knows everything about her parents and the drug business and does not want Charlotte to let her own daughter, Erin, know about it. And it was kind of like a little threat saying like, you better not tell her or bad things are gonna happen. And at one point, Miller, the FBI agent, came to the house and talked about Jorge Mendoza, I think that's his name. And she basically knows a lot about the drug cartel, like Navarro's gang, and basically gave Wendy the option to reach out to her to try to save Marty. And then that's why it caused like a conflict in Wendy's head, where like, does she really want to reach out to the FBI to make things better, or can she count on Marty knowing that he'll be safe with everything that's going on, like how she's gonna let it flow naturally? And in the end, it worked out. He's back. All right, going on to Helen, just a little bit because I mentioned her. In the episode, she did like, I guess, basic things like she confirmed Marty was alive. She let them know that they're supposed to launder money as usual because of the test from Navarro. And I already mentioned that she told Charlotte to keep Erin out of the business. She even at one point questions Ruth's loyalty to Wendy. I guess she has her suspicions about Ruth, trying to see if she could live up to Marty's shoes, or else they're all screwed. And then there was also another scenario where she asked her driver, basically saying like, if he's ever called to like, I guess, kill her or wipe her out from Navarro, like would he let her know in advance, and she got that confirmation. So good to know that her driver is on her side in case he gets a call to like kill her. And then with Ruth, she seemed very jittery and panicky, like, or just in panic throughout the episode without Marty, because that means she has to assume operations without him and had to even deal with Agent Miller on her own, making sure that there was no problems. But then a problem did arise because of the red flag, and that just tripped her out completely. But good thing Marty solved it from the other end in Mexico. And there was like a point for Ruth where she got a little intimate with Ben, kind of like because Ben has been trying to pursue her and he's like looking out for her and stuff. He really cares about her, it seems like. It was very nice of him to do so, and yeah, they just shared like a kiss, I guess, because he was just there for her when she needed someone, because there's just a shitstorm going on. And speaking about Ben, I'm starting to like him even more and more, so I hope nothing bad happens to him. He was there to cheer Ruth up. He was there to cheer Wendy up when she was in conflict about getting the FBI's help. He was very upset about how the kids know about everything, but he did tell the kids the truth from what he knows, because I guess he wants everyone to be in the loop, so that's very cool of him. And he's also getting involved with the money laundering thing, so that's pretty interesting. Very dangerous and risky, but I guess it's become a family business now. And then at one point it shows how smart Ben was, because Agent Miller tried to bait him, kind of like asking him if Marty's like out sick or something, but he was just like, nah, Marty's in Kansas City. He like stuck with the plan, and yep, he did not fall for any BS. So kudos to Ben. And yeah, that basically sums up everything Charlotte and Jonah are just like, we're just concerned because, you know, their parents are going through things. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Hope you guys like this video. Please do subscribe. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. But let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments down below. If you haven't already, feel free to check out the description for the previous episodes that I left a review on. So yeah, take care, stay tuned for episode 5, because this was Boss Fight.